Good day, everybody. Sorry, I'm too close to the camera sometimes. Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1563. I've come here this many consecutive mornings, my time, 5:10 a.m. until this Saturday. This Saturday, we're moving over to 6:10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, which means in the USA, everybody's going to have to do it an hour later with me. Or if you're in Australia, or if you're in Europa, you can look at the UTC times, and I'm going to come on an hour later starting Saturday because, as you can see, I look like hell sometimes. I look like shit sometimes. And it is because I get up so early and can't get up early enough. So I'm going to do it at 6:10. And now, can positive fear help you focus? We are in Launch by Jen Du Plessis. How to take your business to new heights. She is America's mortgage mentor. There was a foreword by Michael J. Mayer, The 7 Levels of Communication. And she is Lady Jen. Lady Jen, to your success. And okay to read for morsels of a thought. She loves the idea. So that's a good thing. I love that people love the idea. So I'm going to show you the section we are in with this book. Okay, first I show you the chapter, and that is this page. Section 2, goals, plans, and systems. That's what we're doing right now. And okay, a bookmark just fell out. That doesn't tell me a thing. Getting past the plan. Getting past the plan, because we're headed toward the system. And then in chapter 2, section 3, be clear and fearless. We're in the section where an anonymous person says, success does not come easily. Are you willing to pay the price? So, can positive fear help you focus? More bookmarks falling down. Okay, I guess I must have. Anyway, so these thoughts, says Lady Jen, on fears are something I've learned from my mentor, Darren Hardy. There are two different types of fear that we have in sales, particularly in lending. There is negative fear, which often blocks us, paralyzes us from doing the things we need to do. And there is positive fear, which actually helps drive us because we fear the consequences of not doing the things we need to do more than we fear the possible rejection attached to doing what we must do. It's a lot like human nature is directed more at avoiding something negative than achieving something positive. So, who's that? Hi. Good morning. And I will say that if you don't see the red button, you're on a replay. Happy replay. John Clark, Colleen Dracos, and Gina Portoff, and Debbie Baza, and anybody who comes over else, Marilyn Thalheimer, Marty Blue, Mandy Olekshi, and there's a name that's like really, really on the tip of my tongue. Okay, well, we'll come and see you soon. Let's talk about negative fear first. Let's talk first about negative fear. This type of fear can misdirect your laser focus and cause you to dilute your attention. Instead of pinpointing your work for maximum effect, you look for ways to be active but unfocused. Negative fear trickles in and prevents you from taking action to introduce yourself to people. It blocks you from getting on the phone day in and day out, and it might even show up in your meetings with clients. You have that fear of rejection or that fear of looking bad. It keeps you from doing the things you should be doing because the little voice in your head says, you know, if you try that, they might say no. You could be turned down or rejected. You could be turned down or rejected. You might even think you project a salesy image that no one likes. So rather than experience these negative feelings, you lose your laser focus or find other busy work activities to fill in the time. I've heard this from the loan officers that I coach who say something like, well, I don't make phone calls to my database because I don't know what to say. I don't want them to think that I'm pushy and I'm just calling because all I want is a referral. The call is about getting or making a connection, not necessarily to get a referral. That will surely come later. Negative fears can prevent you from doing the right things. I get it. You don't want to feel bad and you do want to do the things that make you feel good. There's a problem with that though, a big problem. If you do if you only do the things that make you feel good, you end up not doing what you absolutely need to be doing every day to accelerate your business. Now, let's look at fear from another perspective, what's called positive fear. I look at positive fear as motivating you to do the things that you must do, even if you don't like to, so you don't suffer the consequences of leaving these things undone. For example, maybe it's the feeling you get of, I'm afraid that if my income drops, I won't be able to take care of my family. Or I'm afraid that if I don't take care of my clients and give them a wow experience, they're going to do business with someone else. This positive fear propels you to do the things that you normally wouldn't do or fear doing. The fear of not sustaining or growing your income is greater than the fear of going out and talking to people. You may even want to think of this in positive terms. I can continue to support my family and I can continue to bring in a high level of income if I get out there and make more connections, even though I find that hard to do. It's a very small twist in thinking, but it's enough to help you remember and understand that there's a difference between the fear that keeps you from doing something like making 10 outbound phone calls a day, which is paralyzing fear, and the fear that motivates you to do that same thing every day, which is a propelling fear. Think about the fears that paralyze you and the fears that propel you. You can even make a list of things you like to do and things you don't like to do, or a list of things that propel you and things that paralyze you. So if you're running into a problem of making phone calls to your database and it's paralyzing you, think about the flip side of your fear. If you make those calls, that what will be the positive outcome? If you make those calls, what will be the positive outcome? Use these feelings to drive you and turn you from being someone who simply waits for business to come to them into someone who is actively going out and giving their all. Circling back to clarity. Just what does this discussion about fear have to do with consciously focusing your time on the actions that will spark growth and maintain staying power in your practice? Ask yourself, are you, quote, inventing end quote, tasks so you can trick yourself into thinking you are being productive? For example, sharpening pencils. If so, circle back to consciously focusing on the things that are most important for growing your practice. Those are the activities that propel your business. Those are the activities you must tackle no matter your fear. Jen's Jots. Jot 1. Consciously make small but crucial choices every day about the highest and best use of your time. I love this. Next, next jot. Be consistent every day about how you schedule your time to prospect for business. Be consistent every day. Identify, next jot. Identify the things you absolutely need an EED to be doing, but may be neglecting for fear of rejection or failure. Then use positive fear to propel you. I might add, you even jot it down. You actually write it down in front of you on a little post-it and stick it nearby, and then you go, okay, I fear that, but I'll do it. You know, you could do that if you want to. I'll add that in there. Chapter 2, Section 4, Systems are your salvation. The big idea is create and implement step-by-step processes, routines, and procedures in your practice to save time and energy and free up your time to bring in new business. So if you make it so that your desk is always clear, for example, there's that one big idea. Okay, Jen Duplessis says, start by just sprinkling it in. Don't worry about doing it all at once. Woo. I love this because when you do something big, it is something small added to something small, more and more and more incrementally bigger and bigger and bigger, but little steps at a time. Okay. Loan officers tend to resist using systems to conduct their daily business. I know that's ironic since loan processing and compliance with loan regulations are such systems driven enterprises. Let's be clear about this topic. Systems are those standard organized processes, procedures, routines, and step by step methods that you follow in the daily operation of your practice. I am a true believer in creating and using a system for literally everything in my practice. Well, I want to go a little over just a second. Okay, here we go. I preach endlessly about how crucial systems are in a mortgage loan practice. Creating and using systems and processes can improve your prospecting, marketing, transaction processing, and most importantly, communications with your clients. Systems improve the quality and efficiency of everything and anything you do. By following systems, you'll find yourself being more professional, and you'll also discover that you're serving your customers at a higher level of satisfaction. As Michael J. Mayer has shared, a system is saving you stress, time, energy, and money. So SYSTEM, saving you stress, time, energy, and money. Ooh, system, system, saving you stress, time, energy, and money. S, saving you, Y, you, S, stress, T, time, E, energy, M, money. System is saving you stress, time, energy, and money. SYSTEM. That's pretty good. Really, really good. If you don't have systems, you have leaks. Your prospecting system may be incomplete, or your marketing may be missing some important elements, yes, or your loan transaction process may leave the customer in the dark if you don't have a communication system built in. In short, without systems, you may drop the ball in ways both small and large in significant and imperative areas. Systems lock in habits and routines without which you may find yourself operating in an ad hoc manner. And there's no greater sin than winging it or just trying to replicate a procedure by memory. Ad hoc is to the thing. Latin, but I can't remember. It's ad hoc, accusative form. Yeah, yeah. Systems should be written, standardized, tested, and then revised and updated as you get more and more sophisticated in using them. Keep in mind that your systems will always go through revisions, so don't worry about being perfect. Try new things and update the old ways. I have to take a look at something. Oh, okay. My eyes. I need contact lenses soon. Where can you apply systems in your practice? Where can't you apply systems? You will save yourself time and energy, reduce your frustration, and give yourself loads more time for finding business when you apply systems across the board. Here's just some of the places where you can apply a system: the loan or sales process and customer communication. So you could write down all the things you're going to say to every single person. Internal office procedures. You could write a list on the wall. Building and maintaining your database, your contact community. That's your work of the day, always going into that database. Marketing plans and scheduling, putting that on the wall. Outreach to existing clients, calling them. Outreach to potential partners. Yeah. Your daily schedule. You can write that down on a mirror. Your system for holding partner meetings. You jot that down in a place where you can keep it and pull it out when you need it. Okay? So that's where you can apply systems in your practice. Let's talk examples. Lady Jen says, I'm so excited to share some of my systems with you. They're so powerful and yet very easy to execute. These 3 systems, I have 9 total, are the foundation of my practice. If you only do 3, you have accomplished more than most. Keeping in touch with potential referral partners. After I have an initial one-on-one meeting with a potential referral partner, I have a pre-planned scheduled system for reaching out to them 7 times over the course of the next 70 days. This is my way of communicating with them to ensure that I've done my part to follow up with them after our meeting and to demonstrate my value. Now, when she says 7 times, that is the magic number. They do say that an employment and a job, I've said this once a long time ago before, that the average number the average number of contacts you have made with a single company is 7 before they hire you on for a job. Excuse me. Thank goodness I kept the water near me today. Um, I'm gonna take a sip of water. This thing hits the top. No. Oh, and by the way, on Friday I'm having hand surgery, so I'm gonna uh, keep this 5:10 a.m. time until Friday, through Friday, and then right after that I drive to the hospital or clinic or whatever. Yep, and I drive home again too. After that series of communications, and often before it ends, I can easily determine if we are ever likely to do business together. So you're trying to go 7 times of contact over the next 70 days. That's a lot of contact time. So you don't just call once, you have to do it 7 times. Whew. Wow. Okay. My system involves social media outreach, sending a relevant success story via email, mailing a motivational book that appeals to the person, sending useful information via email, and several phone calls. The point is, I have a system set up that pre-schedules each step and triggers reminders to me. The materials are in place and the purpose of each step is predetermined. The key to any system such as this is to ensure that the receiver feels they are getting individualized personal attention. I follow a set of touches, she quotes touches, within a system that's designed to deliver value to the recipient, and I use automated tools to manage the process. So our phones are so powerful nowadays, and our computers are so powerful. Perfect loan process. One of my mentors, Tim Brahim of Performance Experts, coined the term perfect loan process. In my practice, we have a systematized process that details and tracks exactly which steps have been accomplished in the transaction process and when and how we communicate to the customer as we complete each step. During the process, we have 71 points of communication during a single transaction. Yes, we've detailed 71 points of communication, which include emails, phone calls, text, video presentations, and more. I started this process long before Loan Toolbox, to keep realtors and clients informed. Truthfully, I wanted to keep that at bay in order to do my job before they called me asking for a status updates. In fact, my entire system was drawn out on legal sized paper with my drafting tools because we didn't have computers back then. It felt as if the one who reached out first and checked out all of the to do boxes first wins. It was, and still is, a game for me. It's a thought out, pre-planned, systematized process, and though it may seem complex to you, it really makes our lives and practice much simpler. That's because we know nothing will ever fall through the cracks, and we know we'll never forget a step. Our goal is to provide a superior customer experience, show our partners they can depend on us, and enable my team to be masters in their role in the process. The system helps us anticipate any possible outreach to a client and partner so we stay ahead of the curve. A system will help prevent you from making a mistake that costs you money, will help you run things much more efficiently, and will prevent you from burning out. Your team, if you have one, will appreciate your system as well. There's a roadmap to closing. Within my perfect loan process, we provide a checklist to our borrowers so that at each stage of the purchase transaction, they can instantly see the progress of their loan, which we call a roadmap to closing. It also helps trigger actions they need to take. This system helps make the process smoother and more efficient. Just as importantly, the system keeps the client informed so that they are much less likely to contact me with simple questions that are answered by the system. Instead of spending my time answering their questions, I can be spending that time focusing on lead generating activities to bring in more business. That is a huge time saver. Don't get me wrong, I love helping my clients, but truly, I can serve my clients better when I can focus on my expertise, not on processing issues. In other words, they don't have to call you back with questions all the time. So, I'm going to skip the where to start right now because we're a little out of time, but we're going to start that next week. And in Jen's Jots, she says, look at all aspects of operating your practice and how anything can be managed better through standardized systems. And create systems specially that help you serve your clients or that you can use to increase your referral and customer base. And start by creating one system or improving a system you already have. Ask yourself how the system can be designed to save sanity, time, energy, and money. So then next week we will go to the part that says where to start. And then after that, we will be in section 3, time is of the essence. Okay, so this is a mortgage lender's book. It is how to do business and how to take your business to new heights. This is amazing. All of these systems are absolutely amazing, and you can't get them in a regular book. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. Okay, old Kinder Hug.